Flyover State of Film was shot in front of a live studio audience.
Two incomes.
Swap
Yes, I did it. I killed Yvette. I hated her so much. The flames on the side of my face, breathing. Welcome back, guys, to another Flyover episode. It's been a while since I
in the world, a candle like your face.
It's been a while since I heard.
Still remember just the way you taste.
How's it going, Brian, Joe, TJ? Yay! Ivan Reichman died.
No,
We
Is that
can't
the
get
energy
through
that
an
we
episode
wanted?
without having a
bring the room
eulogy.
down, my dude.
Is that the energy that we wanted? I don't know. I didn't read the notes.
Everybody was
No.
hyped up on Super Bowl trailers, and they were like, "Oh, Ivan Reitman died." By the way,
Producer of Ghostbusters, Ghostbusters 2, Kindergarten Cop, Beethoven, Junior, Beethoven 2. Like the list goes on.
Wrote
until
on Animal House.
Yeah, Space Jam, Private Parts.
I mean, prolific
Evolution.
director, prolific producer, creator of many childhood favorites, director of Twins, director of Kindergarten Cop, Ghostbusters, obviously.
Junior, obviously.
Oh, clearly.
Classic.
I've
almost picked Junior multiple times.
I didn't realize he directed No Strings Attached in Draft Days.
Draft Day was his last directing job, yeah.
I have a weird connection to No Strings Attached for some reason.
I guess
I watched it once when I was in a deep depression, and it made me laugh, and then I have this weird mental connection to it being good. It's not good, but it made me laugh during a depression, so it's good.
Is No Strings Attached the one with
Ashton Kutcher?
Okay, that is the one, because there's Friends with Benefits, which is Mila Kunis and Justin Timberlake. They came out the same weeks apart.
It's like Dante's.
Oh, and I want to address it to my to our 5 fans that watch, no longer Steph. Hi, Ryan.
Damn.
If you do still watch,
I do look like a substitute teacher. I just came from work. I'm sorry that I'm not in like the podcast t-shirt mode.
Sucks because that joke worked the first time when we heard it off camera, but now I'm just.
Yeah,
but it's good.
But you know what's gonna be good off the off camera bit? Let's talk about evolution, but work it in naturally though. So
I thought you were going to talk about off-camera hand jobs, but I thought different transition.
Different part of the banter we're supposed to be. My notes just say banter.
Oh,
you got notes? That doesn't seem fair.
Yeah, Yusuf, we hung out. He gave me notes for every episode.
Oh yeah, we hang out. Did you guys know that? I don't know if you follow us on Twitter, but
look at these photos.
Dude, look at this. Oh, I'm gonna edit the shit out of this section. Bam. Food photos.
So, back to Ivan Reitman.
So many meals.
Food photos.
Except needs to get an Instagram.
And post it really does. Although we had the worst New York City pizza I've ever had.
Oh yeah, but then
great time.
I had a
terrible.
I don't know what the fuck we were thinking, but you know,
we were just happy to hang out.
You guys want to talk about Ivan Reitman anymore?
Yeah, just a little more. I mean, everyone's gonna lay on that he did Ghostbusters and this and that, but I didn't realize how prolific of a producer he was.
Yeah.
Like he had his run, and like, I mean, there are some stinkers later on, but I really feel like those movies are all autopilot, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Oh
my
yeah, he's
Super
coasting,
Ex-Girlfriend's dog shit.
That's what our buddy Kevin Smith is doing right now.
Yeah, he's on
doing.
too.
Is your buddies
Dave,
with him?
I wish.
I think Dave is
You'd be in
underrated.
movies if you were.
Was Dave that he?
No, that's
Remember
Dave. Dave's the one with Kevin Kline and goes into the White House.
Yeah, he like
pretends
pretends
to be the
this guy
president.
who looks like the president.
Oh.
Pretends to be the president.
It's a very suitable early '90s like comedy. It's not. There's nothing
Sigourney
offensive
Weaver is the
about
first
it.
lady, looking hot.
Yeah.
Can we talk about Beethoven? Beethoven is the shit.
Beethoven is shit.
That dog.
Great dog.
That dog, man. He gets some. He gets to do some stuff.
So
Evolution.
Fellas.
Yeah, he's
So
also
this-
in Evolution. He's in Beethoven too.
This intro for us today is kind of awkward. You know what was awkward? The Deep Love trailer. The Deep
It's
Water
called
trailer.
Deep Water, first of all. Is
Are
the
you
name
sure
of
that-
the,
You remember-
name of the movie.
You remember that year where Ben Affleck and Dunkin' Donuts dated, and he was cheating on Dunkin' Donuts with Anna Del Alma
He was always coming to her house with the Dunkin'. I thought that was so awkward.
with gallons of it. Like he was
Ben
so
Affleck was
fucking
coming-
bored in that relationship that he needed
One of the first
20 ounce
tweets
cups.
one of the first tweets I saw when I searched to find the Deep Water trailer was like they were throwing the cutout of Ana de Armas out in front of Ben Affleck's house.
I
Yeah.
bet somebody edited that trailer already. If not, Joe, you can go ahead if you like this joke. But like, put like Dunkin' Donuts coffee in her face in that trailer, and
Maybe.
it's a vent latte just
Listen.
came off in the trailer.
Listen, he reps Boston so hard that he's like, I need my donkeys. You know he calls donkeys.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I
Wasn't
love
he like
Ben Affleck.
celebrating the Rams victory?
So they weren't playing.
Topical.
Is this gonna be
Boston,
soft nymphomaniac? Is that what this movie's gonna be?
It
Where
looks
they're,
like it.
a couple of sex freaks or whatever, and they're just gonna
I don't.
bang in a couple awkward places,
What's
and
this
then
movie
that'll be
supposed
it. That'll be the end of the movie.
Deep Water. It is a well-to-do husband who allows his wife to have affairs in order to avoid a divorce becomes a prime suspect in the disappearance of her lovers.
Didn't we already
Oh,
do
Gone Girl.
this shit?
Yeah, it's Gone Girl.
It's a new
It's
Gone Girl.
also he's a cuck. Literally the
he's
definition of a
Gone
cuck.
Girl. It's cut girl.
Wait, but she's
by
also
that
in this like NC-17 Marilyn Monroe movie.
Yeah, which is
Yeah, I
she's
wanna
a
see
weird
that.
choice for Marilyn Monroe, right?
Where they were like, she just bangs the whole movie, and I'm like, good, keep going.
I was like, I feel like they were more committed to finding an actress who would bang all movie instead of finding someone who, I don't know, seemed like Marilyn Monroe. I mean, I guess any actress, it shouldn't get hung up on who looks like who, and that doesn't really matter and everything. But like, I don't know. I saw a picture. I was like, she just looks like Ana de Armas in a blonde wig. She doesn't make me feel like I'm watching Marilyn Monroe. Like,
Marilyn Monroe's
Yeah,
so
if
iconic.
you watch Sergio on Netflix, she also bangs a lot on that movie. I don't know. She likes to bang. She's a
She
pro
likes to
banger.
bang.
But
yeah,
who,
and that's fine.
Yeah, I'm for it.
No
I like her
complaints.
breakout role in
Blade Runner?
Knives Out.
No,
Oh,
her
I was
breakout
saying Blade
role
Runner.
is Blade Runner.
Blade Runner
She fucking
2049.
kills that
All
movie.
right, dorks. I didn't see the new Blade Runner.
Oh,
Your
you
breakout
suck.
role to mass audiences was Knives Out.
Well, you missed out then.
Well,
You
you're not
guys
dorks, and I love
wanna-
you much. I'm a guy with a horror podcast. Listen to it. So I'm the biggest dork of them all.
It's true.
You want to touch on Super Bowl teasers? Maybe Doctor Strange, and everybody's just because it's gonna be all the things we know.
Oh my gosh, I can't. You better go out and watch What If, though, or you're not going to be at the cool kids club and get every reference. I was like, yeah, I'm sure they're going to leave out whole chunks of the plot and be like, well, guess you should have watched the cartoon then. Like,
This is whenever
you
someone
asshole,
turned to
man.
me.
There's such a condescending prick energy to that fucking tweet. I couldn't stand it.
I remember someone turned to me and was like, "Oh, you're gonna have to watch like WandaVision and Hawkeye and all this stuff to get the movies." I'm like, "No, because if they're good movies, they're gonna explain what's going on
If
in a
somebody
way."
looked in my eye and started to say that, I would spit directly in their mouth.
It honestly may have just not been someone
But
actually
would
in
you
us
wait?
talking in our chat.
Wait. Would you wait on the perfect vowel sound that is enough open that it goes in, or you just shoot into the mouth where it
Well,
lands?
when people like that talk, they're always like, "Die, die, 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 watch it, die, die, die." So like, you got plenty of opportunity
Yeah,
to fire one in
if
there.
you seen like the trailer reaction thumbnails, they all look
Right.
like
Die, die, oh my
TJ,
God, I love it
you have
so
some
much.
thoughts?
Smile thing. They're like, hey, you didn't see that? Huck? Yeah, you didn't see that. Right in the fucking
Yeah,
mouth.
right in the
All like that.
Yeah.
We got to bring back trailer reaction Twitter account.
And like, look, I'm not one of those this one also drives me nuts too. It's like, I witnessed something blind. I didn't watch the trailer. And it's like, okay, I get it, but it's like, I'm not going to watch trailer for something now. I like trailers. I like to watch trailers. I enjoy the trailers.
I don't like trailers.
I usually watch the first one to get a vibe to think
Okay.
it's something I'm even interested in, and then nothing else.
Okay,
That's kind of that's what I do.
Like, I walked past a homeless guy this morning. I had to give him a sandwich, and he posted it on Facebook. Like, great, keep that shit to yourself. It's amazing fucking deed, but like, don't tell us. I don't care if you didn't watch the trailer, enjoy the movie, and like, just like some type of things.
This fucking asshole that also was tweeting, "Oh, you still watching the NBA? Just shut the fuck up! Don't tweet it that you don't watch the NBA."
Yeah, that nobody cares.
I
Nobody
was
cares what you do
watching.
and don't watch.
I went to the theaters to go see two
What's up,
movies
TJ?
like in the same weekend, and it made me realize I saw Moonfall and Jackass.
Jackass is
Dude,
amazing.
I was watching. I literally yesterday I did a marathon of all the Jackasses,
So
and
good.
I haven't laughed so fucking hard.
And it made me. Sorry, real quick.
Time out. Wee Man getting a card thrown at his ass, and there's like a shocker in his taint, and he doesn't know
it's in
that
the
there's a
stool,
shocker.
and he doesn't know where it's at.
I've never laughed so hard because he turns around and he goes like, "There's a card throwing machine here," but he does it with so much conviction that I couldn't breathe. Like my lungs hurt from laughing.
Greatest comedy franchise in the last 20 years. Most consistent, funniest.
I thought about doing like a binge of those, and now I think I feel like I have to.
You have to. So my main point originally was, though, I don't watch trailers when they drop online normally, or I'm not impressed by them. Sitting in the movie theater, almost every movie that came up, even shitty looking movies, they went, that looked like shit, or like, that looks really fun, because I was sitting in the theater. That's when I like to watch trailers. Like
and especially
that ambulance Michael Bay movie.
I was
like,
gonna mention the
sign me
ambulance.
up.
They literally showed you the entire fucking movie. I've seen that trailer twice because I've gone to the movie trailer twice. I know I'm cool, but it's literally the entire fucking movie from start to finish. He gets recruited. The bank heist goes to shit. They're in an ambulance, and he has to make a decision to betray Jake Gyllenhaal.
Also, like The Lost City with Sandra Bullock, I was like, this looks terrible. Sign me up.
No, that one looks good. That's going to be a good one.
Sign me up.
But that's another one that 100% showed you the whole movie. I can tell you every beat of that
every scene. And I'm ready.
Sandra
I'm
Bullock,
ready to
rom-com. I'm in.
Just hang out.
Romancing
have a
the
nice
Stone
time.
2.0, yes, I'm ready for it. Like,
I could have done without Brad Pitt.
Little Channing Tatum.
Oh, don't worry, he's going to get blown up immediately.
Oh, I hope so, yes.
Yeah, I think too. I think it's going to be like an instant death.
Right, that's the joke. He's going to get them out because, like, I don't know. I mean, I hate to be the guy who like pulls apart trailers, but like you can tell the way they're dressed in certain parts, the way it's gonna, and it's just like,
whoa, wait, calm down, Adam. So, Brian, you had a topic for us?
Oh, we're ready to move into topics already? Well, I'm ready. I recently, over the last week, watched both of the Sin City movies and both of the 300 movies. And you might be wondering, both, Brian? What do you mean by both? You mean both Sin City and 300, those two movies. No. You see, both of those movies have sequels. Sequels that came and went with not but a whisper, but sequels that are perfectly fine. Sin City specifically, I feel like, is one that just really, like, went too little too late. If that had come out like 3 or 4 years after the first one, it'd be a big hit too. They waited like 9 years. Nobody cared anymore.
And also, they didn't choose like the best of the graphic novels. They took one of them and they stretched it to shit.
Yeah, and then they added new stuff that wasn't as good. I agree, but if you had done it 2 or 3 years later, you might not have made those choices too.
They would have made so much money too.
I should have waited.
And the 300 sequel is another one that is perfectly serviceable if you just like more 300 style like action stuff. It's fine.
And Evergreen.
Yeah, I was gonna
And
say
Adrian
Eva
Green's
Green's
in
in
both of
both
them,
of them, right?
super naked in both movies too. I mean, not to be a gross perv or anything, but
No, please.
I'm sitting there watching it with my son, like there is a lot of nudity here.
It's too much. Do you like eyes?
No, because I think my whole thing was just like normalize. It's not that way. Maybe he won't grow up with a weird complex about it, like almost every other kid I know who was sheltered and stuff. Like maybe just like normalize it and be like sometimes people are naked in movies and stuff. Like
Yeah.
don't make a big deal about it. Try to treat him with a little bit of
Some-
maturity and stuff.
Sometimes people jerk off horses in movies, and it's super appropriate for a child to see, and doesn't do anything to them later on.
No, I'm sure
Talking
it's
about Freddy
fine.
Got Fingered. If the
I
audience,
thought you were talking
I thought
about
we were back on Jackass.
that too. Is there a big difference?
I thought you were talking about fucking Mull.
Huge.
Not Mull.
Jackass is better by a lot better.
Yeah.
But anyway, so my question back to
Daddy, would you like some sausage?
my question. I just wanted to know what are some movies that have like perfectly serviceable sequels, but nobody remembers them or nobody cared about them at the time. And it's not necessarily that they're bad; they just didn't like ever catch the interest like the original.
I mean, if we're gonna go by that type of a definition, for me, it's like obviously it's a movie that most people know, but it just no one really talks about it. It has its scenes where like people know certain lines from it. I think it also has the best performance by Cassandra, and you also add Christopher Walken. But Wayne's World 2, no one really talks about it as much as like you would expect. I know you said I can see the face,
Dude,
but it's like one of those things where Wayne's World has like such like a SNL, probably arguably the best SNL character movie that's come out, where this one kind of just like comes out, no one talks about it. It's almost like a Ghostbusters 2 thing.
I argue that it's one of the best comedy sequels of all time.
So it's so weird you say.
Also, I just say that out. I don't hear it coming back at me a lot. So I think you're right. Just because it's a big deal to me, and I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, what are you talking about? That's one of the best comedy sequels ever. But you're probably right as far as like the recognition it gets.
I think recently even
one
of the producers or writers or something like that was even saying like, oh, we shouldn't have made Wayne's World 2, or like I forget the exact quote, but it was like we made it too like soon, or it was like something very didn't need to be said. It was like, no, it's a good movie. Just acknowledge it's a good movie. You're still hung up on like your like box office failure or something like that.
But even like goes back on like having the most simplest fucking stupid comedic scenes, like where he's going to get Cassandra from marrying Christopher Walken. He goes to the wrong church, and I'm like, why are you guys moving this glass back and forth? Oh, they're like, I don't know. Every minute we move the glass from this side of the street to the other side of the street, but that guy's got the chicken, so he's got to do the same thing with the watermelons, and like. It just goes back with the first one, but no one like ever references the jokes. It's always like the sponsor fucking ads that they do in the very first one.
The stuff from the first one is more like in the zeitgeist. Yeah. Absolutely.
I feel like the first one is a little bit more quotable, maybe.
Yeah, right. Like Clerks 2, like I enjoy Clerks 2 compared to Clerks 1. I mean, most Kevin Smith like. People or fans.
Can you get off his dick already, man?
Saying one time.
I unfollowed him today.
Damn.
Stand up.
I literally unfollowed him today. This is too much Kevin Smith talk already.
I can't do it.
I couldn't take the follow anymore.
Yusuf, if you remember, just put the entire screen as his fucking thing he does every time.
Tears.
Yeah. But it's just like that. I think like Wayne's World 2 doesn't get enough, and then like the new batch. Gremlins 2, I think, surpasses all those type of fucking comedy sequels. Just because it's
check out the episode.
Yeah.
Check out episode number, not sure what it is, but we covered it.
Actually, when I was going through this trying to come up with some comedy sequels were a place that I found like some
Professor 2, The Clumps.
I was thinking Still Waiting. Waiting was a big deal. And then they did a sequel to that, and that came out, and then came and went.
I do have
also Super Troopers 2. I don't know if anybody ever
did. Fine.
It's fine, exactly. But came and went with that was a little more of an independent crowdfund deal, but still no real fanfare about it or anything.
I'll pivot over to I've talked about this movie before in the podcast. Another Exorcist 3. It always stands out to me because I think it's actually like I like it better than the second than the first one. The second one's just dog shit. I mean, it's like a weird comedy.
3 better than the original?
They're different movies. That's what like
That's
I'll sit.
fair.
Put it this
So,
way,
like,
I'll sit
Halloween
down
3
and
type of scenario?
what?
Is it like a Halloween 3 type of scenario?
A little bit. It's the same character. It's the same character.
Yeah,
Of the priest
they're more
from the
connected
first.
than that.
Yeah, but what I like about Exorcist 3 is like more, I guess, because I'm not as scared of it and more intrigued because I'll sit down. Like I can sit down tonight and watch Exorcist 3 and fucking love every minute of it. Like the great Brad Dourif performance in it.
Iconic.
God, what's his name?
Is
The
that,
lead.
is that the guy from that doll movie?
Yeah, that the little doll movie we've never mentioned or
Yeah,
done
we
anything
never
about.
really talked about it on here. We'll save it for another day.
What a great sequel.
The the conversation that God, what's his George C. Scott has, like just the odd conversation about like his wife's carp that he has in the bathtub, and like there's just those little oddities in that movie, and then it's pretty scary. Like,
That's he
but you don't see any like gore, like you don't see anything or demon or like the Exorcist stuff. It's just like a creepy procedural.
Yeah, it has a great third act.
And let's be honest, it might have the best jump scare of all time with the 5-minute long hospital
penis.
scene. But to me, it's an underrated because like no one talks about it because that second one bombs so bad that
It's one of those situations where it's just like everybody's just like, no, all the Exorcist sequels are bad. Like Jaws too. All the Jaws sequels are bad. We just say that, and I'm like, that's not true. Jaws
and
2
on
is awesome.
another, no, I'll save honorable mentions. But that's kind of where my 2 picks are horror related.
I've seen Exorcist 3 because I always think like I get that Amityville 3, which is the Possession. I think that's the one.
I've only ever seen the first one.
It's got Meg Ryan in it.
Really? Yeah, but it's fucking weird because it has a brother who gets possessed by a demon in a house. It's almost like kind of follows everything that Amityville is, but like there's some real weird scenes between brother and sister, and like it just every time I think of like Exorcist 3, I think of Exorcism Amityville 3. Mm-hmm. So I just always get confused with both.
What's that noise?
There's a train, Chicago.
Okay.
Chi-Town, baby. It's the Windy City. Damn, that's the wind.
I legit thought it was the wind.
City.
What was I was gonna say?
I've never seen that.
We covered Exorcist on one of our, I think it was the first Halloween specials.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
We're referencing a lot of old episodes today.
Yeah. That's what professionals do.
That's what we
Tron
do.
Legacy. That was my pick. Tron Legacy. The most okay sequel ever to exist. It was a huge deal when it came out, and literally nobody fucking talks.
Anyone get big Tron? At least anyone watching Righteous Gemstones and getting big Tron Legacy vibes from the motorcyclists?
Yeah, the motorcycles gang. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry.
But yeah, it's a fine movie. It's okay. And the other one that I picked.
Well, everybody really loved that Daft Punk soundtrack, and then like people like, I don't know.
Dude, no, I hated that Daft. I hated it because I was so pumped for it.
It was
and like 90% of the movie, the songs are like 40 seconds long or a minute long. You're like, I'm barely getting into the groove. Like, why didn't you give me like at least 2 minutes of it?
It was an early use of that like de-age technology at the time. It was like, whoa, and like today you're like, ooh,
with
fast forward.
Jeff Bridges.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was okay.
It's fine.
It's not the worst. It's not
a sequel.
Speaking of Super Bowl spots, did anyone see that fucking Uncanny Valley LeBron talking to a young LeBron commercial?
Yeah, I saw that shit. That was weird as fuck.
It just looked so weird because it's like you didn't also look like that as a teenager. Like I don't know.
Yeah, the age thing, I thought they did a decent job. It's still the like talking and moving and like interacting. Getting him to like look like his teenage self was fair.
The worst of all time is the talking in what was that? The Star Wars movie we all forgot about, Rogue One, of Leia.
Oh, Leia. I never thought that one was that bad. Same thing with Tarkin in that movie.
Tarkin looked fine. Tarkin looked fine. She looked weird.
All of them look like shit as soon as they start moving and talking. If it's literally just them, like
that's the one.
They look amazing.
That's the one thing that the new Ghostbusters got right was they had the Egon ghost, but they kept him. They didn't let him talk.
Spoiler.
Silent. and I don't give a shit. I'll spoil the fuck out of it.
I'll never watch that fucking movie.
I love it so bad, but
It was.
I love
It was fine.
It's
not
yeah, it's one of those movies that hits me in my nostalgia, but also makes me feel shame about it. Like,
it.
I was just kind of like, oh, there's no Ghostbusters here. Oh, I just want to watch a Ghostbusters adventure.
are you squeezing your own lemon? What the fuck is going on?
Yeah, man. If you don't squeeze your own citrus, then you're not Yusuf.
But Yusuf, can I ask?
Was he gonna shave some zest into it?
Am I
next?
gonna do pre-made juices that are gonna fuck up my sugar and my intestine? No.
Can I ask a question? Did you roll your limes out before you did that?
Is that it?
I'm in.
Are we on to honorable mentions?
No, Yusuf, did you? Oh, no, he just gave his. Sorry.
Honorable mention, Man movie as well, but like a very confusing sequel, The Stranger sequel.
I never saw it.
Oh yeah,
asked for
that's
that
one of those ones I've kind of meant to watch and never have.
Yeah, it's on that. I might own it, to be honest with you, and like
It
haven't
was on
watched it.
Netflix for a while. It might still be.
Talk about movies that have like cult followings. The Strangers movies have.
The first Strangers, I think, is a pretty solid little thriller.
It's terrifying.
Like,
It's one of the
scary,
It's very uncomfortable vibes.
It's never not.
It's a legitimately bad movie.
Oh, damn, look at this guy coming in
Honestly, it's a bad movie because any movie that the scares are designed for the audience and not for the actual characters in the movie is a shitty design because most of the scares are like, she doesn't know they're standing behind her.
Yusuf is gatekeeping scares. He's like, you're not
So,
allowed.
yeah, I mean, not like movies like Halloween have ever done that or anything, like all-time classics. Like,
yeah, but they know they like most of the movie, like they're
all
scared
right,
of Michael.
all right, Rock.
99% of that
fucking.
fucking.
Tequila a little more.
I'm not showing it on purpose. All right? I'm not sponsored by The Rock. Okay.
You're greatness.
I do have a couple honorable mentions. Anybody remember Rules of Attraction?
Yeah, that had a sequel.
It is itself a backdoor sequel to American Psycho.
What? Please explain.
Yeah, it's by the same author, and it's one of the characters is actually supposed to be the little brother of Patrick Bateman.
Well,
yeah,
that's different.
Yeah, I know, right? And then, of course, American Psycho has its own actual terrible sequel with Mila Kunis.
Yeah.
There's a tweet that went viral of a dude watching American Psycho for the first time. He's like, I'm going to watch American Psycho for the first time. And then he replied to his tweet like, man, I think I'm him 100%. And then he replies, oh, wait, he's a psycho? Oh, wait, he's a racist? Oh, wait, he's a sexist?
That's good stuff.
One of the worst sequels I've seen of recent is the straight-to-DVD. They tried to plan it off the really good remake of Fright Night called Fright Night 2. It has nothing to do with it, by name only, and it is unwatchable.
Really?
Oh yeah.
New one?
It has like the villain in it is Lila from season 2 of Dexter.
Oh, I hate that.
And it's dog. You're like, ooh, and the Colin Farrell's obviously not in it, or like it's all the same characters, just recast.
Yeah, that's.
Someone was like, I have rights. I own rights to this name. That's what it felt like.
You went, it's dog, and I was like, wait, there's a dog in it as a vampire? That'd be fucking tight.
A fucking dog vampire?
Well, there is that movie.
Yeah, I mean,
there's a dog vampire movie. I think one of the Spooky Buddies films is about a dog vampire.
Oh my god! Another thing I wanted to bring up is forgotten sequels, and this is maybe forgotten on purpose, definitely by the producers of Cobra Kai, and that's The Next Karate Kid with Hilary Swank.
Oh,
I've watched it very recently.
Like, are they ever gonna bring? Come on, Netflix has got the money to land Hilary Swank. You could land two-time Oscar winner.
I don't think she requires that much money at this point in her career.
Brian, I think they've talked about bringing her back. Like they're
have to. She's the only one left.
Have you guys watched the season?
Yeah, I watched the new season at the very end when the dude walks up and it's like the guy from 2. If that would have been Hilary Swank, I'd have hit the roof. I would have hit the roof.
My other honorable mention is Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. Because it's more like a Tobe Hooper. It's more of a fucking comedy. And it's honestly batshit, and I feel like it's like Gremlins 2 in the sense of like it's so different from the first one, but people are like, yeah, horror.
It's a good fly. Oh, we already covered Gremlins too, so it doesn't matter.
They're winning like the chili contest, and it's so fucking.
Honestly, even though just
The
the
fact that the
posters,
guy,
like,
I'll tell you what, that's a great movie, but there's a scene where the old man gets a chainsaw up the butt and he says, "Oh, took care of my hems though," and like from there on out, I was like, this movie is a fucking classic.
I mean, I'm sold. Took the hems out.
Took care of my
Alright.
hems. Woohoo.
So we're watching Clue, if you didn't have a clue by the title, and it has one of the best fucking ensembles ever put to film.
For real.
So TJ wanted to talk about the worst ensembles ever put to film. Because that's how TJ's brain work.
My brain is just firing.
Well, also, we've got the release of Death on the Nile coming out.
Woo!
It's full of problematic characters. Gail Gadot and Armie Hammer
Is
and
Gal Gadot
Letitia Wright
problematic?
and Russell Brand are a couple of
She's just
anti-vaxxers.
clueless.
She just
Is it-
sucks.
Yeah, I don't know she was like on the no list.
She's just
You talking about Gal Gadot? Well, she's
Yeah.
tone deaf, and also
She is tone
was-
deaf.
On that.
She's she's Israeli, so she was in the Israeli military, and also she kind of is one of those people who waffles on Palestinian rights, so people like that, and
Gotcha. Okay.
And
and
she's
also
hot.
she's a very bad actress.
Oh, she's horrible actress.
She's not great at acting. Red Notice.
She's no. She's
Elon.
horrible.
But then, and then you got Armie Hammer though. But by comparison to being possibly an actual cannibal, I guess all those things don't seem so bad.
So yeah, I want to talk about the worst ensemble cast movies of all time. We can start with Joe.
Yeah, so I had to think about this. So this cast is good. I want to say this, but they don't work together. They don't have chemistry. And I caught it maybe 4 or 5 years ago, so not that recent on like FX. Since I had seen it in the theater, so I've watched this 1.5 times. That is Jonah Hex.
Oh, yeah.
To refresh
That's one of
anyone's
those
memory,
forgotten ones that when people are like, "What's the worst comic book movie?" You bring up Jonah Hex, and they forgot. They're like, "Oh,
Oh.
yeah, I didn't even know that existed."
Yeah, so
I bet you're apologists somewhere out there.
Oh, obviously.
Oh, I'm sure it's the best movie ever made, and there's a fucking restore
Somebody
some cut
loves
hashtag.
everything. There's always one for everyone.
To refresh the audience, our listeners, on who this cast is Josh Brolin as our lead, Megan Fox, John Malkovich, Michael Fassbender, Will Arnett, Michael Shannon, Wes Bentley, and that's all I'm gonna name of just main great cast on paper. All people I like independently. They do not work in this movie. No one is no one's playing themselves in the right movie, but it's a full on ensemble. Every character tries to get their own moment.
Is this around the Christopher Nolan Dark Knight time?
Yeah, it's 2010.
Right around Rises, I think, right?
Yeah, that would be more Rises. But it's just will that make what? I didn't realize this. I have the Wikipedia, the IMDb up. It's a Neville Dean and Brian Taylor movie. That makes sense why this thing's a complete mess. Talking about sequels that should have been good. They're the people who made the Ghost Rider 2 and Crank.
The Crank guys.
The Crank guys.
The Crank should be definitely
Oh, that's a Flyover movie. Crank's a blast.
A Flyover movie.
Well, that was my pick. Nah, it wasn't. Wish.
So, what do you got, Yusuf? I just think I just remember it being such a hodgepodge of people, and I'm not even into it. There's just a lot of low rent $5 million or less dramedies that came out in the mid 2000s or late the teens, that are all just pretty we're using the cast charms. They're all shit.
Yeah.
Just like Joe, I also picked a shitty cast. And that is Terminator Genesis.
Oh.
It has Emilia Clarke, Jay Courtney, Jason Clarke, Matt Smith.
I think Emilia Clarke's only good in her right. She needs to be written right in the right role.
She's only been okay in Game of Thrones. She's never been good.
She was good in that one. She was good in Me Before You, the one romantic movie she was in.
Damn it, Joe.
Nobody watches.
Come on, Joe. And she was only good in the first 4 seasons of Game of Thrones. So she wasn't even good in the entirety of fucking Game of Thrones. Yeah, that movie is just.
That's fair.
We're really punchy today.
Oh, I'm tired. I just got from work and I had 3 tequilas in me, I'm good. So the fucking all of them are so miscast. Like Jason Clarke as fucking Connor, Emilia Clarke trying to pretend like she can fucking carry
That's the worst.
Connor's
She
job.
looked like a little girl doing Sarah Connor cosplay.
Oh my
she looked
God,
all
so
she looked
bad.
all soft and like, just like unprepared for anything. Like,
I'm your
Like-
mother, Sarah Connor. Oh my
And
God.
then Jai Courtney trying to act hilarious.
Leave
So
him
it's-
alone, dude. Poor
He's
guy.
a bad actor.
Yeah, but
I
he's
think Jai
legitimately
Courtney
a
can
bad
be
actor.
okay. I just think he's picked a lot of very bad.
He
parts.
should never have been a
nothing.
leading man.
Mention one moment where you think he's a good actor.
He should have
Like
never
legitimately
been
a good actor. Not like he's likable or he's charming, like a good actor.
Let me go
Well,
to
he's
the
not
pit.
really
Thank
been
you.
in the kind of movies that have those kind of performances in them.
There's shit movies that have good performances in them.
I bet he has an emotional moment with Bruce Willis in that Die Hard movie.
I bet he doesn't. Let's watch it. All right,
Oh.
after this recording, we're all gonna watch.
We're all gonna watch Die Hard 5 together.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
TJ's fucking pick next. God damn it.
Okay,
All right,
he
Brian,
was.
what did you
Die
pick?
Hard 5. Look out!
No, let me go, because I want to ride off what you were talking about.
You
Because
can't write it off.
also,
You can't write it off. It's staying in.
no, ride off, like on a bike, dude. Like
No,
a
you
ride.
can't write it. You
Like on
can't
your
write it off.
pogo stick.
He was fine and unbroken as a military guy.
Nobody saw that.
Same thing they tried to do with this movie. I just saw it recently. It came out in the last 2 years, I want to say. But the cast is the worst fucking. Not even like the movie being like, oh, I shot this on fucking a live set, or not live set, and fucking out there in the world. But like, the cast is the most boring. Sorry.
That's a flyover.
Yeah. Boring, dull, on camera, the most fucking non-charismatic cast I've ever seen. And people, I guess, maybe like this movie, but the Eternals.
Oh
I
my
yeah, you're
watched
not. You know what? You're not wrong. And there's people in that
I
cast
didn't
was
finish it.
There's people in that cast I was legitimately excited for, and it sucked.
I didn't
watch it.
finish it. I never finished it. I fell asleep and I didn't.
Yeah,
I didn't try again.
And I don't know if it's like something forced because like this movie came out. I don't know, at the peak.
But I
of Game of
had
Thrones.
to watch it because if not, I won't
You might
fucking
miss a
understand
reference.
all of the movies.
I think this is one of my favorite pieces of Marvel yet. You have to see it. People are wrong.
The way
It looks
it's
great.
shot and all the colors of having it like actually on the island.
Oh, it's amazing. She shot it all outside, but somehow managed to all make it look like a big gray piece of shit.
You guys ever see The Revenant where they use natural light? It kind of looked like that. Not that great.
And I hate to do this, I'm gonna do it, but I'm a fucking Snyder bro, y'all. Zack Snyder would have done better. You know what I mean?
I don't disagree. The man
Hey,
knows how to shoot
visually,
it.
no one ever takes away. Like, I will never take away from Zack Snyder's visual style.
Yeah.
The man can
man
paint
knows how
a
to-
picture
Don't take it
with a
The man
film.
knows a
It's,
composition.
zombie movie.
Yeah, the man knows a composition. Won't
Oh
no
yeah,
lie.
tell that to the zombie fucking movie that he made.
Oh, okay, fair
I
enough.
like
It's
Dawn
not
of the
even
Dead.
sucks.
But that's like, it's like, think about it this way, like, Joe, you had like exciting casting at some point in some type of areas. Even fucking Youssef, like, people were like, all right, height of Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
This is the height of Game of Thrones, and they're like, all right, we're gonna get this fucking girl who's the goddamn.
Right, at the time, it seemed like a smart idea to cast her.
And the
She's red
dude,
hot.
I don't know if Dawn came out yet with for what's his face, but he had a great role in that, and not Dawn. Oh yeah, it was Dawn. But like,
Yeah,
this
he's in
movie
Dawn.
has Angelina Jolie and Brian Tyree Henry. It's like one of those things, and then now you got Barry Keoghan, the weird face fucking guy who's now the Joker supposedly in the new Batman movie. Where I'm just like, I get from this cast. Selma Hayek.
I thought he was going to be the anti Timothy Chalamet in the new
Yo,
Dune.
Angelina Jolie is in the MCU and no one cares. Think about
No
that.
one gives a fuck.
Yeah.
No one gives
They
a shit.
wasted her. Think how many cool characters you could have had Angelina Jolie play, and now she's like one of 10 people on some no-name team nobody gives a shit about.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? Just watch
She
the
didn't
streaming
die?
services.
I
and
didn't
you'll-
finish the movie. She didn't die.
I didn't watch it.
No, she didn't die.
Yeah. She stands.
And they
Nobody
killed the
died. They didn't have
Latina.
the balls. They didn't have the balls to kill off any Eternals.
Brian, who you got
Latina.
before I say my honorable mention?
Okay, well, I'm gonna weave some honorable mentions in here because I was all over the map on this one on how to answer this question. Like, I started thinking about just like what's the worst and I thought of that movie 43, where
Yeah.
it's like a bunch of celebrities and shitty, unfunny things, and they're all like there by contractual obligation. They were all so like not only like the circumstance makes it bad too, on top of like the fact that they just didn't
Where's
make a bad movie.
the Netflix documentary about that movie?
Yeah, about the backdoor shenanigans that went into that. And then I was thinking about movies that are like kind of like what a couple of you guys said that have decent casts, but either they don't work together or they're just like big disappointments. Like I was thinking of that movie Monuments Men. You guys remember that?
Ooh,
Like
so
Bill
boring.
Murray and John Goodman and George Clooney and
That's
like
really
all
sad.
these heavy
Matt
hitters.
Damon.
Yeah, and it sucked. That one sucked.
Matt
And
Damon had
then
a string of those, like
John
The
Goodman?
Informant.
yeah, John Goodman was in that. And then I was thinking about stuff like, okay, like what about something like Battleship? That was one of those big,
Rihanna.
stupid blockbusters, and they like
She's pregnant.
they trick you by putting in Liam Neeson, but it's Liam Neeson in his Clash of the Titans era, where he's just doing anything, and it's that Taylor Kitsch who at the time they're just trying to cram down your throat.
Yeah,
And
fucking Jack
Rihanna-
Corny 2.0.
Yeah, exactly. Or Sam Worthington, he was another one. They were just like,
Fucking Sam
you
Worthington.
like Sam Worthington, you want to see him in
You
things.
like generic white men.
It's wild because you gotta think about it. They had fucking Jesse Plemons on that cast in the background. They had the
did?
dude from Doctor
They did.
I've
never seen Battleship.
I don't know.
I've never seen Battleship.
They have one of like it's either what's his name? I'm not going to continue this because it could end up coming off very racist if I confuse people.
Is it Wong? You talking about Wong?
I think he's in it, but also don't look up and don't fucking.
I don't know. He's in a lot of sci-fi movies. That actor
Great.
must have really liked sci-fi.
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah, that's fine. But it has like these like actors that supposedly will be big at some point in their career, but misses the mark fucking completely. But also, I'll put it on the background just for fun.
Okay, now here's where I landed though. So then I was thinking about what about movies that are cast with like terrible people, and I started looking at like Dean Cain and like Gina Carano and stuff because they're going to be in some stupid PureFlix movies together or something. But then I found this movie called Madness in the Method. Okay, it's directed by Jason Mewes. It's like a mockumentary about him trying to become a method actor. But it's got like Dean Cain, Gina Carano, Casper Van Dien, Kevin Smith, and Harley Quinn Smith.
Kill me. Just fucking put a bullet in my
It
head.
sounds like a Kevin Smith movie, but with no good celebrities and all replaced with shitty celebrities.
No Matt
So
Damon.
like it's even worse than a Kevin Smith movie is what I'm
Is
saying.
Kevin Smith Republican? I mean, can we refer to the biggest fan, TJ? Can you tell me about Kevin Smith's
What are Kevin Smith's political leanings, TJ? You know all about him. You're best friends.
Input picture of him crying.
That was when Trump lost. That's when he put up that video of him crying.
So I picked. I remembered while talking to this one of the worst like movies and we watched it based off the cast, and that's why I'm going to say it.
Use his face.
It's
Lucky number
called
7.
ACOD, Adult Children of Divorce. It has Adam Scott on the cover of it, like peak Parks and
I
Rec.
kind of remember this. Is
And it
Tina
stars-
Fey in this?
It's Amy Poehler, Adam Scott, Catherine O'Hara, Richard Jenkins, Jane Lynch, Mary Elizabeth Winstead. On a lower tier, Clark Duke, Jessica Alba, Sarah Burns. Like, it was a really good cast. We watched it because of like the names. We were like,
sure.
Reddit, and it was a laughless, like hour and 30 minutes.
Like
One of
fucking
those-
mixed
one of
nuts.
those, quote unquote family comedies that's really just a super depressing movie with like 2 joke lines in it.
Yeah, it's a rated R like family comedy. Yeah, it's one of those.
Yeah.
And talking about this made me remember this. Like Laura and I had just started dating, I think, and we were like, "Oh, we love Parks and Rec."
You're
Put it
trying to
on.
make out, and it's like
And the-
harshing taking the whole air out of the room.
I should have known. The poster is just I'm looking at it now of Adam Scott doing this
Yeah.
on like a 40-year-old virgin background of like nothing, and like you should know.
That sounds like mixed nuts with Steve
That
Martin
sucks.
and Madeline Kahn and Adam Sandler.
Speaking of Madeline Kahn.
Rita Wilson and blah blah blah.
My wife introduced me to Mixed Nuts, and it's one that we watch every year, and I find it very harmless.
I saw it for the
It's
first
so
time this
boring.
year. Didn't like it. It was boring.
My honorable mentions: Suicide Squad. That's the original one.
Sure.
Will Smith, Jared Leto,
Yeah.
Jai Courtney,
Your favorite actor?
Prince of Persia with Jake Gyllenhaal, Ben Kingsley. I'm blanking on the other. Alfred Molina, and there's another actor, big name actor in it as well.
Oh, here's a whole nother way to look at it again. Like as far as worst ensembles, like most inappropriate ensemble. What about Gods of Egypt, the Ridley Scott movie? Or no, I'm sorry. It's not Gods of Egypt. It was
It's Gods of
Exodus,
Egypt.
Gods and Kings. Excuse me. Gods of
Exodus,
Egypt
yeah.
is different. But you got
Russell
like
Crowe.
the Egyptian royal family is like Joel Edgerton
Yeah.
and Sigourney Weaver,
Stanley
and the
Tucci.
pharaoh is played by John Turturro.
Isn't Stanley Tucci also in that?
I don't remember. He might be.
You know
and
that.
then then the world's most famous Jew, Moses, is played
That's
by
what I was
Christian
gonna
Bale.
say. And then he booked the other big Jew and Russell Crowe as
Yeah. Yeah.
No, that's another director, but the same type of thing.
So you're gonna
Yeah.
forgotten movies. Noah, Christian, Russell Crowe, and
I
Emma Watson.
I swear to God, I'm gonna pick that for Flyover to make myself watch it again because I don't think I've seen it since it came out, and I liked it, but I haven't got back around to it.
Oh, it's
No,
funny. I
dude.
tried to watch that movie and I just zoned the shit out.
Dude.
I was all on my phone. Like I was just like,
Do Master
I
and
liked it. It
Commander.
was like the
Wait.
Bible by way of Lord of the Rings. I was into it.
that's not good. Games.
Yeah, so we're gonna play a game. If you guys remember from a
Really
couple
so bad.
episodes
I don't think I've
ago,
won. If you go back through all the Flyovers, I bet I haven't won a game ever.
you've
I
won
think
most
you
of
have
the games.
multiple, dude. What the fuck are you talking
I
about?
don't think I have. I
Stop
think I'm
trying
Okay,
to
someone we
bad.
know,
fish
stop
for
pitying
compliments.
yourself.
No, I think I'm quite bad at these.
Stop
I don't know.
trying to
Someone
fish
check your
Especially
phone.
the pitches. I think I think I'm doing a good pitch, and then I lose.
So we're doing pitches. The boys are gonna get a character, a plot, and a note, and they will have just making sure, and they will have 2 minutes to pitch the movie, and they'll tell me when they want to start. Not, I won't tell them to start. They'll have time to do concept. We will be starting with what are the birth dates?
I'm a December. I'm a Sagittarius.
You're December. Yusuf,
February, baby.
July. We're gonna start with TJ, and then we're gonna go to Brian, and then we're going to Yusuf.
What are we getting? Character?
You're getting a character,
a plot, and then like
and
a
an-
studio
and like
note.
a studio note. Okay. And then I'll put my own spin on like what I think you're pitching it to me.
Okay, all right.
Okay, so I'm just picking from
Pitch
our
to Joe. Mm-hmm.
I mean, you are the judge. I didn't think I was pitching to anybody else.
Okay.
Gosh, you better shut the fuck up.
So I'll read these in order. So TJ,
Yes.
your character is a young politician with dreams of saving the world.
No shame.
Totally relatable for TJ.
Your plot, choose the plot to your favorite movie. Your favorite movie is a gritty reboot of that idea.
Wait, I choose my favorite movie and say
Your favorite movie.
So the plot is a gritty reboot of your favorite movie.
Yes. And what if the main character, and this is your studio note, what if the main character's best friend is secretly God? So I'll give you time to think
I
about.
thought that was going another G word.
So I'll give
What?
you. So TJ, do you
That
want
would have
time
been
while I
easier.
pull
I'd
up?
rather done that one.
So Brian, well TJ is
Okay.
going to think about that. I'm going to pick yours. All right.
All right.
Your character, an old fisherman alone at sea. Your
I can
plot,
relate.
battles addiction to prescription drugs.
Okay. It's writing itself.
Yeah. This actually sounds like something I want to see.
And then your studio note is, this all kind of worked. What if the main character is literally a fish out of water, like those Nemo movies?
Okay. All right. All right. I like it.
Yusuf.
Like
So
those
think of-
Nemo movies?
They're trying to be funny, the cards. Oh.
Oh.
Okay, Yusuf, your character, an overweight vampire that just wants to fit
Why
in.
gotta be the fat guy?
An overweight vampire that just wants to fit in. Your plot is discovers a hidden island full of mythical creatures. And your studio note is what we love it, but what if we actually split this movie into 3 movies? What would this look like as a trilogy? So
Fuck.
So
So
you're
you actually have
last.
to pitch 3 movies. That's hilarious.
Well, you have to just in 2 minutes. You just have to pitch like the overarching.
Yeah,
you'll
just
just have
3 movies.
Okay, whatever. TJ, you ready?
Yeah.
All right, 1, 2, start.
Okay, so I mean, my favorite movie of all time. You expect me to say something like Howard the Duck or Jaws, something like that. I'm gonna go with this one, a gritty version of ET. Now, picture it, right? All right. So ET lands on Earth, let's say 1960 something, because I don't know the age of this gentleman. He becomes best friends with someone we all come to know as Donald Trump. Okay, grows up with Donald Trump through all of his fucking early years, when he was molested, maybe when he was, shooting things in the backyards, something like that, like something crazy and dark and gritty. Because Donald Trump, as most people know, I take him as a lovable, funny guy, but most people don't like him. But this one, E.T. grows up with him, and unfortunately, at this point in time, Donald Trump gets assassinated. This is during the 2016 political run. Who better to take his place than E.T.? We're talking about a far, far right E.T. You know what I mean? He's actually bald. If anyone's ever seen the movie E.T., he is bald, so we're going to put him in a blonde wig, red tie, blue
I would
suit.
say, like, instead of the Pepe memes, they became ET memes. Like, all the Pepe instead of Pepe
Like give
frog,
TJ the
it's ET.
TJ, you're allowed it like 15 more seconds because of Brian.
We're going to go like this,
Sorry.
where at the end of the day, when E.T. finally hits and wins that 2016 race and takes us away from the sadness and vaccinations and fucking, you want to wear a mask, eat my butthole. We realize that Donald Trump got his powers from Jim Carrey himself, who got his powers from his person before him, Morgan Freeman, and is actually playing a Bruce Almighty God role. And Donald Trump is now essentially a fairy godmother to E.T., who is now going through his second run. He actually loses to Joe Biden, unfortunately. But we're talking about a 2024 run sequel, baby. And we're going fucking hard in the paint. E.T., no more vax, your body, your choice type of thing. You know what I mean?
Joe
Perfect.
Rogan is his running mate.
Time. So what's it called? I love it. What's it called?
First one's E.T. Fuck, I don't know, but the second one's gonna be called E.T. I Want 2.
So we have a planned 2-movie arc.
Yeah,
I have one big note.
Yeah.
The studio really likes Josh Gad this year. So how do we put Josh Gad in both movies? You can't kill him.
Can't kill him. This is pretty simple. I'm talking about E.T. has to have a running mate. We've all know that. Most people say that Donald Trump is very, very polarizing.
Handsome.
Josh Gad, yeah, handsome, but polarizing. Josh Gad is going to be his gay running mate.
Okay.
E.T. running mate.
Great.
Might be pretending to be gay. We don't know, but that's a plot point.
Great. Next up in the room, we have Brian Hurst. I'm sorry, Brian. That's the.
Thank you guys for having me, for giving me this opportunity.
Yeah,
honestly,
no, we really liked your work on The Bunker, so we thought you'd come in.
I'm well known for that. Everybody has seen it.
So you are ready to start your pitch.
Yeah, I want to tell you about an old man in a fishing village, Howard Fishman. He's had a hard life. He's never quite fit in. He never married, never had any kids. People were always just kind of like repelled by him. He smells bad. He doesn't like to look at himself. He doesn't keep mirrors in his house. He just wears his big overcoat and keeps his hood up. He goes out on his fishing boat every day and he tries to catch fish. And one day he gets stranded out there. His boat motor dies.
God damn, I'm gonna cut my wrists.
Well, he's in the midst of chasing his grand prize, this great beast that he's been, this fabled great sea creature that he's always heard tale of. But he's out there on his boat trap chasing this thing, and he doesn't have his pills, his special pills that he's had to take his whole life. And without them, he can feel himself starting to like gag and choke and like lose his mind a little bit, and at the same time as the chase is really wearing on him. And you come to find out that the pills that he took were actually tetra. They're fish food. And on the calm day, after he thinks he's gonna get his catch, and it gets away one last time, and the sea calms.
20
and
seconds.
He finally catches a look at himself in the ocean, and he's a fish man. He's actually always been He's literally been a fish out of water his whole life.
Wow,
He's
this
actually a fish man.
Okay, that's time. This sounds beautiful. What is
Produced by A24, obviously.
Sure, totally A24 vibes. What's the name of your film before I give you my one studio note?
One fish, two fish, can fish, do fish.
Okay, we'll work on that. But the studio we're really
you just literally saw whoever's watching. I doubt anybody's watching at this point, but how we come up with our episode titles. That was literally how we come up with our episode titles.
So the studio.
Brian, what's the dumbest pun you can think of? Oh wait, I have one.
So the studio really wants you. You're gonna need to include Billie Eilish. She's trying to break into acting in the movie.
Oh, that's perfect. I already have it.
Great.
Billie Eilish is going to play the voice of the sea creature that he's been chasing. That turns out to actually be his mother.
Fantastic, and she's gonna sing a song.
Great. Of course, she'll have a song. Obviously.
Great. Go picture.
It'll be over the credits. It's not going to be diegetic in the movie.
Okay, we'll talk about
that.
Kind
of a James Bond type thing.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. We'll talk, but good work. Okay, Yusuf, thank you for joining us today. We really love your site, whyilovemovies.com.
I didn't get
my kid was heartbroken.
Long running. That site's been going for a really long time.
Yeah, my kid was heartbroken when it went under for a couple months. Glad you have it back. So
I just realized how important my word is to film criticism, so I had to bring it back.
So, you're on the clock.
I'm pitching 3 movies to you.
Oh.
And you know what's popping? What's really killing it right now? What We Do in the Shadows. So we're gonna do 3 fucking movies off What We Do in the Shadows. We're gonna kill off Nandor because he sacrificed his life to turn Guillermo. He's a little bit overweight. He's a new vampire. He's trying to fit in. So what does he do? He wants to befriend the biggest mouth of the group, aka Laszlo. Laszlo is a horn dog. He wants to find this mythical island of the succubus, the demons that fuck anything that moves, and Laszlo wants to go there. The three arc pitch is: 1, we find the island; 2, the island turns on the crew, almost like an Empire Strikes Back deal. You know, everybody loves Empire Strikes Back. The second one has to be dark. People are gonna die in the second one. And in the third one, Guillermo saves the day, kills all the succubus, and everybody escapes the island. It's called What We Do on the Island. That's my pitch.
Great, fantastic. You have a little more time left. So there are a few. Since 3 movies, there are a few people the studio really wants to get put into this movie. First, we did ask you for an original concept, not an existing property.
That's nowhere in my notes.
But you knew that. But that's not the point. I think you came in with some nice creativity. Okay, we really
interject real fast.
Yeah.
You asked me to pick my favorite movie, which is not an original property, so I feel like he gets a pass in this one.
That's fair. I'm not deducting points.
Can you wait? Can I ask something? Can the studio read back the cards, please? Can the studio read back my cards, please?
Well,
can the studio read back my cards?
The studio
This car
You know what?
Breathe.
Fuck it. I'm walking out of this meeting.
You gotta
All right,
I'm
great.
taking my ideas elsewhere.
Get him back in.
He
Great,
did the walkout. That's pretty
Great.
bold.
Okay. Well, I guess we're gonna go with the fish movie.
Yeah.
You know, listen. A24 has been winning some Oscars, so
Back.
y'all had great bitches. I'm so glad you're all able to put
Yeah.
Josh Gad in all of your movies.
How do you turn down E.T. going like this?
You
How
know,
do you turn down What We Do in Shadows movie?
well, you
They
didn't let
made
me
What We Do in the
finish.
Shadows movie.
You didn't let me
well,
finish.
Guillermo based. Guillermo.
You took your ball and went home, baby.
Oh, boy.
You'll regret it. You'll be that fucking producer that turned down Back to the Future, and then look where you are now, bitch.
I'm just trying to make my own Wild Wild West. I don't need a Back to the Future. You know what other movie was a failure, considered a failure?
Don't make movies, sir. Talking about
Clue. Clue was considered a failure.
I mean, it was. All right, guys, are you ready to talk about Clue?
Yeah, I think that was what the transition was about.
Yeah, I think I've been doing really well at the transitions this episode, and
Yeah.
you guys just don't let me have it.
Are you guys ready to talk about Clue?
Yeah.
All right, so it was my week. I picked a classic, one of my favorite movies of all times. I was been meaning to watch it. What better way to force myself to watch it than my boys to watch it as well? 1985, Clue, directed by Jonathan Lynn, story by John Landis, written by Jonathan Lynn, I believe, based on the board game Clue.
First movie to
starring-
ever be based off of a board game.
First movie?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, facts. All-star cast, Eileen Brennan, Tim Curry, Madeline Kahn, Christopher Lloyd, Martin Mull, Michael McKean, Lesley Ann Warren, Colin Camp, and
Lesley Ann Warren, who I kept calling Susan Sarandon, because
she looks just like her.
I thought that was her.
So she was supposed to be
that was supposed to be
Carrie
Carrie Fisher. Yeah.
And it's
Yeah,
funny
there was
about
a
that is
bunch of
that
people that were
Lesley Ann
different.
Warren was coming out of rehab, and Carrie Fisher was going into rehab, and that's why
They
she was doing the
high-fived
movie.
on the way past each other, and then they
Good
took each
role.
other. They shared a
I think
job.
Cleese from Monty Python was supposed to be the Tim Curry.
Well, I'm glad
role
he
as well.
wasn't.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
glad he
Speaking of
wasn't too, because fuck that guy.
Speaking of
So
problematic,
it's pretty straightforward. Not really as loosely based around the movie Clue. A bunch of people are reunited or gathered in a mansion. They're being blackmailed by this mysterious Mr. Peabody.
No, just
And
Mr.
then
Body.
people start dying around the mansion, and nobody knows who. Not Mr. Peabody. It's not Mr. Peabody.
It's not that little dog who time travels. It's
I
a
did-
guy named Mr. Body.
I didn't
Who
actually
was
Mr.
also
Body?
like the lead singer of a punk band named Lee Ving, which is hilarious.
Yeah, and he fucking sucks as an actor. He's the worst part of it. Yeah, and just people start dying, and nobody knows who the killer is, and then by
It's
the end,
literally
it's a
the
murder
book.
mystery.
Yeah.
It's a murder mystery,
What
kind of
was-
based on Clue.
What was really cool, you said kind of based on Clue. I mean, they literally, the house is set up like the actual board game.
And they
like,
go
the
out of
rooms
their
go
way
the
to
right
name check all the different rooms that are on the board. They
Yeah,
make
but
sure
it's
to
not
say, like
like-
billiard room, library. They like make sure.
The reason why I say kind of based on
Candlesticks.
Clue is the blackmail shit. It's not Clue based.
Well, yeah, they have
No,
to add an
no.
element of story.
But they just add like
No.
they just add
And
motive.
the ending,
They add
the
some
true
motive.
ending is not like Clue at all. But all right, so was this the first time viewing for anybody?
No, I had seen it as a kid, and then I haven't
Okay.
seen it in a long time. So
I literally just
Kind
watched
of.
it while I was playing a game of Clue with my family that I lost.
Yeah, I at least watch it
One-
once or twice a year. TJ, what did you think? First impressions before we actually talk about the movie.
It's tough because like I don't want to be the guy the normal TJ bullshit because I don't think it's a bad movie. It was fine. I never have a great fucking deal of appreciation for mysteries at all because I'm kind of stupid. So like a lot of like the fucking switch of the hand type stuff, I'm already just watching the movie. Then all of a sudden I got to pay attention to this. Whereas, I
arguably,
don't
this
think-
movie's mystery isn't great either. It's kind of like
but
it's
all
not
the-
it's not
Yeah,
one of
it's
those
the
ones where
jokes.
you could probably solve it if you were watching closely. It's
I
kind of
think I
all
come
over
here
the
for the
place.
jokes. I come to this movie for the jokes.
wasn't watching it closely, which is fair, but was watching it. But it's like one of those things where, like, if I would have saw this probably at, Yusuf or Brian's age, growing up for me,
1 year ago.
well, I got confused because, like, I'm thinking Jeffrey Jones is the two dudes,
Martin Hall and McKenzie.
Roseanne, and
Yeah, Martin Mull. Yeah,
the other dude who actually,
Mr. Green.
I think my favorite one's a third one. I want to say the ending. We'll get to that later.
I don't remember.
But it's like one of those things to where if I would have saw this earlier with like maybe my dad, we weren't big Clue people. We were like Monopoly and Candyland. Like if Candyland was this movie, I'd be down.
Well,
I feel like it's pretty wild that you're saying that. I mean, obviously, like to each his own, and love is love, and I respect everybody's opinions. But
I didn't see
this
Marvel.
movie is so dense with quips and jokes and bits and just like
It's all bits.
non-stop jokes that I thought that even if you didn't have the nostalgia embedded, like that you would just fucking laugh. But that's very interesting. And
now I want to I want to kind of come in like just a little under. This was a movie that was on all the time, like on Comedy Central constantly when I was in. But it was one of the things that I didn't really watch. And it wasn't until I got married and Sarah was a big fan and she loved it that I started watching it. And I get where TJ's coming from. I think it is dense to some extent, but I don't. I also think it's riding a lot on performances and people and being fully cast with like great people, and it like that it's letting itself be carried by that maybe a little too much to where the movie could be a little the movie could still have the jokes, but the story could be a little stronger.
Yeah, it's
and
not
stuff like that.
It's not a plot movie at all. Yeah,
saying Brian
like
is
I like it a lot, but I never fell in love with it the way Sarah loves it. You know what I mean? I enjoy it, but I never got that it didn't jump into my top 10 or anything.
It's always that one thing too, like for me, there's not Jonathan Brandis, there's not a fucking god damn it, Ben Savage or Fred Savage. It's not like one of those type of guys like you hold on to. Christopher Lloyd is in this, but this is before for me, seeing Back to the Future and only knowing him as either the dude from fucking Camp Nowhere, Back to the Future, or The Martian and the Jeff Daniels, my favorite Martian.
And he might have the weakest part in this whole movie out of everybody. He might have the least to do, kind of.
He's the weakest. I think even Yvette has a better quip than.
I don't think it's his fault. He's not bad. I just think he's not given anything really great.
Yeah, I feel like his best joke is like, why has the car stopped? And he's like, the car is frightened.
It's shot incredibly fucking well, though. The way the cameras are put in all those rooms to be like a specific angle of like the staircase and the fucking the study or library, what the fuck you want to call it. Everything, like every time a camera's placed in a certain place in this, it always seems like a one shot almost. The way they have everybody walk into the frame and everything like that.
It was
incredible. But I just like the comedy, and this might give me, more hate, but like this is for me falls like the Bride Frankenstein type shit. You know what I mean?
Young Frankenstein?
I fucking love, not the God damn it,
Young Frankenstein, the Mel Brooks.
Young Frankenstein.
Yeah,
that fucking movie's hilarious.
It has.
I love Young Frankenstein.
I didn't see it that young though. I saw it now.
You don't have to see it young, TJ.
Everything
has to be young.
Comedy,
these guys,
comedy, it's different though. I do think comedy, it's like if you see it later, some things don't strike the same way.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but this movie is like literally 99. I'm not saying you have to like it. I understand where you're coming from, but I'm saying like this movie's like 99% jokes. Like it's literally just like quip after quip after quip.
Okay, what I've been trying to say
even if you don't like one quip in the scene, you're gonna laugh.
Joe, you're not allowed to talk.
Shut up. What I've been trying to say this whole time is kind of what Brian was saying early with the denseness of it. It's also how everyone delivers their lines and talks. It's everyone's talking so serious and not trying to deliver a joke. The joke is the words they're saying, or like the words they're saying, not so much the scenario or I don't know if I'm articulating right.
Yeah, that's like the seriousness of the joke.
To like the likes of a TJ or like even myself at some points. And I like this movie because of that. There is a density in the way they're like delivering it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
there's so
That's
many
all I was
jokes,
trying to
like,
say. For the
for
last, like,
example,
There's
five
like
minutes.
almost only, it's like a movie made up of almost all straight men because everybody's like
They're all
playing
straight
everything
men.
very
All
like
serious.
And I think that's why.
the silliest of them all, I think, is Curry and Mr. Green, because Mr. Green's like the klutz and he's always like throwing drinks and falling off the
So
table and being thrown around by Tim Curry. That's like
So
the best, the most
I didn't-
slapstick of it.
I didn't realize how like kind of short the actual like story of it is.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Because
it's
Tim
breezy.
Curry does the whole ending bit, which is my favorite part of the movie. Like the whole like going through each like murder scenario for like the last 25 minutes of the movie,
Yep.
and that flies by, and he's so
Of a
good
movie
at
that's
it.
not even 90 minutes, even with all three endings.
Yeah,
Yep.
Credits are
and I think what I was trying to what I'm saying of that also is that's why that ending, what you started our show tonight with, was that Madeline Kahn? I'm so bad with the names.
Yeah, that's
Yep.
Madeline
Madeline
Mrs.
Kahn.
Kahn,
White.
like the flame, like she ad-libbed that, and it's so different from every performance in that movie. That one line delivery, the flames, they were on
Yeah,
my
because
face.
that's when she's like actually breaking character. Like she's not
Yeah, that's when
pretending to be
she's done
this.
hiding and she's like
Yeah,
letting out
that
what's.
movie doesn't
It
have
makes
any.
sense, but it does. It's also like a good reason. It's one of the most memorable moments, though, is because it is something so different than anything else in the
Yeah,
movie.
it was my
Like
favorite
I
character
legit,
moment of the movie.
I honestly like it. Like I don't know, I keep saying it, but there's like I understand what you're saying, and I think Joe is like dead on with the line delivery, and it's probably again like maybe like a drowning Mona moment where it's just like my frequency, like the like for example when they're like with Madeline Kahn where they're trying to like grill her for all the husbands that she's killed, and he's like, it's a matter of life and death. After he died, my life started. And
Yeah.
it's like those type of things that I just fucking laugh
Oh,
my
there's
ass
so
off.
many good. Like the moment where they all split up, they're going to search, and it's Michael McKean and I think it's Mr. Green and Miss Scarlet, or maybe it's Miss White. I can't remember, but they're supposed to go up into the attic, and they're standing at the bottom of the stairs, staring up, and like neither of them want to go up the stairs.
Oh,
And they
it's
come,
Yvette and Mr. Green.
it's Yvette, that's who it is. And then like them like the way they walk up the stairs and the weird like kind of like
Yeah, she's
physical
going
contact,
like
them like
this.
pushing each other but also leaning back and not like it's
The cop.
I don't know why,
I love
like
the
the
cop
moment
also.
the sequence where and it lasts like fucking 40 minutes. I think it's the longest sequence. It's like when they cut the matchsticks and they're trying to match them to each other,
Yeah.
and they're and like
every
it's clearly
little
like a
individual
long ass
interaction
stick.
between who has what matchstick and like yeah.
It needed.
I've laughed my ass
I
off
think
every
this
time.
movie. I like this. I really want to keep saying I like this movie. I think it needed almost like Christopher Guest to direct it like 3
I was
years
gonna say,
later.
have they ever like tried to remake this? Like
They're doing it.
should
They're
never
trying to
do
remake
that.
now. Ryan Reynolds is attached to it.
Oh,
should
great,
never
cool. It's like
Oh yeah, awesome. Red
They
Notice.
should never
Cool.
try to.
I'm just telling you just what's going on,
They
guys.
should never
No,
try. To,
And I have a
I'm mad at you now. You
Yeah,
I
'cause
have a-
I'm personally mad at you, Joe, for delivering
Good.
that
I
information.
have a
blame
feeling-
they
you.
should never try to remake this.
I have a feeling that at the time,
I'm so hot.
if this
now.
wasn't a flop and it was just like financially a flop and like critics kind of didn't like it, which was weird.
Mhm.
They definitely like had like we're like cool. Now we're gonna make like kind of what TJ was gonna. We're gonna make like a Monopoly game. I mean a movie. We're gonna make a whatever Parker Brothers owned like movie rights wise was probably just shut out completely. Like Candyland. Like
Yeah.
Dude, do a Candyland starring Chris Pratt and fucking Lily Allen.
So what was your let's shift gears. I feel like we're skating in the same train of thought of is it funny or is it good, whatever, it doesn't
wow,
matter.
your
What was your
camera
favorite
angle-
what was your favorite characters of the movie? Like there's so many in this movie. What was the one that you connected at least with?
Dude, I got so confused with fucking this isn't their fault. The dude from Roseanne, I don't know the fucking names off the top of my head. McKean, I want to say
Me either.
McKean.
Martin Mull is Colonel Mustard. That's the guy from Roseanne.
But I'm getting them all confused at the same time with Jeffrey fucking Jones.
Okay, but I don't care about the actor. Like what was your favorite
I know, but
character?
I think like, I mean, Tim Curry at the very end for my favorite ending. I don't know if you want to get into that.
Madeline Kahn and Tim Curry.
Not yet. I'm gonna ask that question. I'm gonna ask questions then because the conversation is not flowing. So I'm gonna
Well, I
ask
feel
questions.
shitty because I said there's not really like a big actor in this other than Christopher Lloyd. And I think at this time, Tim Curry is
Martin Mull.
up there. You know what I mean? It's like one of those things, and also it feels like a Rocky Horror Picture Show too.
Same director.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, then that's probably why, obviously.
And you got him showing up in a rainy night in a mansion. You got Tim Curry in a mansion on a rainy night. I mean, there's Rocky Horror vibes for sure.
Yeah.
What about you, Brian? What's your favorite character?
I'm a sucker for Martin Mull for sure, always. Like,
Yeah.
hilarious. The
I got my
delivery
inheritance
of,
from
was
mommy
it-
and daddy.
Yeah, the whole thing about like I got it when I lost my mommy and daddy, and the whole thing about with him and Tim Curry about your double negative is proof positive. Don't try to make a fool of me. Why you don't need my help? That's right. And like and then I realized something this time. The first time the chandelier falls behind him, I was like, that's a weird. They do a weird edit there where they like don't get his full reaction. Like they don't do and I think it's because they do that on the second chandelier fall where they really freeze and he's all like, But yeah, and then obviously Tim Curry is so good. Madeline Kahn is incredible. I do want to though. Eileen Brennan doesn't get enough. Miss Peacock.
That's what
hilarious.
I was going to mention. That was
really, really funny. Well, then I'll let you.
Peacock. Mrs. Peacock is so fucking underrated in this, at least in my eyes, because most of her moments are like reactions.
Yeah.
Like if you pay attention to the movie, she's always like, and her face and her facial expressions like make the fucking scene. But her in the dinner sequence, where it's like, oh, I'm used to being the hostess, so I might as well break the ice. And she just goes on a fucking rant, and everybody's just like staring at her. What the fuck is happening? Always makes me laugh. And her fighting, sorry, T, her fighting with the fucking headdress. Like
yeah, it keeps like going. She's like trying to get it straight and fix it. Yeah, she's got some good physical bits there.
Yeah.
Well, I also say like this movie when this all like. We gotta say it's on Comedy Central. It's like the 1 o'clock where they did the uncensored stuff, or was
it used to be on Comedy Central constantly.
It was on. I rented the VHS and I have watched this on Comedy Central. Like I did both.
Like, I don't know this because I know you like to watch those old '90s shows, but like Saved by the Bell did a version of like Clue, like a murder mystery house.
Psych did a homage to Clue a couple years ago too, which was really good. Like, if you guys are looking to like watch something that has a good like love letter, Psych did their 100th episode as a Clue.
Not. Yeah, probably not. But I'm just saying, like, how many shows
watch that?
No. Okay, well, listen.
He's also, I feel like, at the same time, like you and Laura, when you and Yusef and Landry can all get back together, you guys should probably do like a murder mystery house. Me and Brian.
Yeah, that would be awesome, Joe. We should plan something.
Yeah, I know, man.
Some bullshit.
Come out to Texas.
TJ,
Joe.
we'll find like a nice bed and breakfast in the midway point. We can meet each other.
Yeah.
But Joe, what was your favorite character? We didn't talk about your favorite.
No. I actually really liked. I forget her name too. Discount.
Scarlett.
Susan Sarandon. Scarlett. I thought she was hysterical.
She's so fucking funny. Like her line delivery is pitch perfect as well.
She was hysterical, and maybe because she looked like Susan Sarandon, like I was just like distracted by like what she like when she was in a scene.
Yeah,
you're distracted because of her cleavage. This movie is sponsored by Tit Tit.
Yeah,
the boobs
that made
her line delivery when in the final sequence where Tim Curry is like revealing everybody murdered. Like she's like, "You're good. Who are you?" That line delivery is so fucking funny. It's like, yeah, I killed her. Who are you? It's so good.
Good.
So fucking funny. What was your favorite death? What was your favorite death?
There's not really a lot of spectacular deaths. A lot of them are off camera.
Yeah. So I don't.
My favorite death is the doorbell.
I don't want to answer my favorite death. When the cops investigating the house and all the dead bodies are like,
so
they're playing with the dead bodies.
They're doing the Home Alone thing.
He's dead drunk, and he's for some reason I don't know why they couldn't just make out together. They had to prop the body up to hug. That was hysterical.
Yeah.
He was like, "There's nothing wrong here. You're living in America."
I just love the fucking wrench.
And then when they leave and Tim Curry's like, 2 dead bodies, everything good.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah.
like
And that was
And
the
I mean,
most.
like, maybe it's because it's just such a dumb joke, but the singing telegram joke is so
yeah,
funny.
it's so funny.
And that's
It's
the girl who
best bet.
plays Joan of Arc in Bill and Ted. I saw that on.
Yes. Oh my god.
I knew she looked familiar, but like not in a way that she'd been in a bunch of stuff. But yeah, that's her.
That's her.
So, what's
Alright,
the other?
I got another question then, I guess, because I'm gonna ask questions. What is your favorite ending then? Let's do that one then. That's the question. Do you like okay, so do you like back giving a little bit of a background, when this movie came out, one of the main reasons it flopped, outside of it being just like random, who the fuck wants to watch a Clue movie back then, at least.
Yeah.
Now everybody would be jumping on it. They
Well, and also
promoted
like
the
maybe
fact
it was too like just kind of performance based. Like it didn't have enough to carry it either. You know what I mean? Like it's hard to
like
say
this
why people
that
didn't
movie
connect with it
probably,
at the time.
like if this movie was made maybe in 1995 instead of 85, where Tim Curry and the rest of the cast had like that much currency
Yeah, I
behind
can
their
see that.
names, this
Sure.
movie would have been like gangbusters.
Yeah.
Even as like you didn't have to change anything. I know that it's not a perfect movie, but it would have been a shit ton of
It needed. It almost Yusuf needed like to be released in like '86, and then just promote it with Christopher Lloyd as like even if he wasn't the lead, just promote it with him as a
Back to the
star,
Future, yeah.
and like
what
you'd
was
have
so
so much more people going.
I mean, maybe after the second one, maybe 89, 88 was the second Back to the Future, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So the one of the reasons why it flopped is like they, in the marketing of this movie, was very heavily focused on the fact that there was multiple endings, and depending on the screening that you went to, you would see a different ending.
The newspaper,
I
some newspaper
fucking
actually wrote
love
like
this
ending
idea.
C, ending B.
It is a great idea,
I
but
love
people
this idea. I think
hated
this
it
is
at the
so
moment.
rad. Like that is such a cool,
Paranormal Activity did that.
interesting idea.
Really?
Paranormal Activity? What?
Well, depending on which theater you saw Paranormal Activity in, there was a different ending. Most got her running to the camera.
Yeah.
And that was like the Hollywood ending.
The jump scare ending, yeah.
Yeah. Some did get the cops shooting, just shooting them.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And I
Have
believe there was a
you-
third one.
Question. I know that our memories are shit, and I probably tomorrow we won't remember anything that we said on this episode, and I honestly don't remember the beginning of this episode. So, have I ever
Talk
told the
about Ivan
story?
Reitman dying.
Oh yeah, Ivan Reitman died. Yeah, that's true.
Well, he did.
Well,
He's
you
so
did.
dead. Have I ever told the story of the guy that believed Paranormal Activity was a real footage?
Thinking of Blair Witch guy.
Somebody you actually met in real life?
Yeah, no, I did not.
I have
Did
not.
not.
I was in college. Paranormal
Hey.
Activity came out. We were in a big group. Like it was 10 to 15 people at the college. We were smoking cigarettes and drinking a Coca-Cola like badasses.
Cigarettes?
Very hip.
Like badasses.
Some jazz cigarettes.
Yeah, and this dude came out like, have you guys seen Paranormal Activity? And we were like, yeah, it's fine. And he's like, fine? That's real life, man. Like police released this footage. Like that's what they say in the beginning.
No, he wasn't serious.
No, dude, he was like
put in the theater to make money.
like legit serious, right? Like so and my wife back then, my girlfriend, looks at me like, is he being serious? And I couldn't like help it. Like now I kind of feel bad because I legit like made fun of him. Like
you laughed in his face, right?
no, dude. I was like, are you serious? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, how fucking dumb are you that you think that police would not only put this footage on box office, they would take the time to edit and add sound effects. And
Also, God
Blair Witch
exists.
did you?
Demons exist.
No. And he went by. He answered me like, it doesn't matter. It's real. And I was like, you dumb motherfucker. I just literally saw the actors on Jay Leno. They were fucking talking to Jay Leno, promoting the movie, and he just stopped talking. He was like, "What?"
I'll
What?
say this: I'll say this: there are people to this day
That's
that will
my
say the
favorite
Paramount,
film.
that will say the Blair Witch was there was a legit movie and think it's conspiracy theory.
I love the theory that they lured her to the woods to kill her, and there's no witch. Any thoughts about Clue? Fucking funny ass.
No, really fun movie. I love the different endings. I think
Yeah,
the
I like
last.
Clue a lot. Like, absolutely. Like,
I
just
think
because
the
it's not
best
my
ending.
favorite movie doesn't mean I don't appreciate Clue.
No,
I
it's a
Clue lot.
funny movie. I wouldn't call it my favorite movie of all time either. I love
But it is probably in my wife's like top 5 comedies. She loves it.
I love the ending.
Sarah,
smart lady.
The ending
She's
of all
smart.
the killers.
You're cool.
It makes sense that everybody's the killer.
Yeah.
That's the best ending.
That's that murder
And I'm
on the
gonna have
Orient
sex
Express
with my
shit
wife.
right there, you know.
And
But
I kill Peabody, and I'm gonna go home and sleep with my wife.
That's the best line.
That's the best ending.
The other like fun fact I heard about this movie too was that like with the endings and all that, it's very written and set up to make it seem like the audience is trying to play the game, and movies didn't really do that much then, so it's written in a certain tone, and that's why they put all those endings in. So like, oh well, the game's never the same thing twice.
Yeah,
well, this reminds me of like the era of like super bad that we were talking about before, but like the unrated stuff. When you got the credits, they just ran all the scenes. They just let the camera go, and you got the bloopers. No one laughed though. They played them out fucking perfectly, and they're like, they all kind of work, I guess.
You guys know my favorite comedy of all time is Dumb and Dumber. I'm so mad the only copy available to this day on Blu-ray is the unrated version where they extended jokes and it throws off the pacing and ruins the jokes they extended. Like that's a different conversation for a different time. But
I bought Friday on Blu-ray.
Pisses me off.
The director's cut.
That's a rough one.
And I still like it and everything, but there are jokes like I remember a certain way that are different when you watch the director's cut, and you're like, it's not bad, but you're like, but I kind of also, it's like when you go to hear a band in concert, and you're like, but I want to hear the way you play it on the radio. I want to hear it.
To explain the Dumb and Dumber one, which I still watch. Fuck, I might watch it tonight. They remember how rude the characters were in Nasty in like the terrible like sequel they did? They were just like, they extend jokes so they do things that aren't dumb and just like mean.
It's one of our points of contention here.
Like Lloyd when Seabass shows up to
about Clue?
Show him get a good time.
Yeah, we haven't rated Clue. We're talking about Dumb and Dumber, but we haven't even rated Clue.
So I'll rate. Are we ready for the ratings phase? Sorry for
ready for the ratings
phase. Joe, what do you rate Dumb and Dumber?
No, Dumb and Dumber's 10 out of 10. But Clue, sorry I went on that Dumb and Dumber rant. Clue, I really enjoyed it. I'll definitely see it again at some point in my lifetime.
Watch it next year.
I give it 7.3 flames on my face.
TJ, first time viewer, long time listener.
I'm going to do this strictly because I respect it, and I think it's actually a good movie. It's just one of those things, like, if I had the nostalgia of, like, you and Brian, maybe even Joe, who's seen it more times than I have, this would be my first time. Only watch it once. I would give it probably, like, 7.9. Tim Curry reenacting basically the same character he did in Home Alone 2.
That's what I thought too, TJ.
He just kind of pulls it back to it. It's
not because he doesn't say pizza.
We love you.
Pizza. Brian.
Yeah, I think I'm right there exactly, like in the 7.5, 7, and let's say 7.5 very funny, very classy dog poop jokes where like for like the next 10 minutes of the movie, every character as they're introduced is like, what? Did I smell shit?
I know that I've watched this movie like a million times. Every single character has their color. Colonel Mustard has the tie. Scarlet Witch has her lips. Peacock has a peacock.
Mr. Green has the tie. He's wearing a blue suit, but his tie is green.
It's not green.
The only other fun fact I have about
the only one that doesn't have a color is Mr. Green because he is a plant. He's not part of the game.
The
wow.
only other fun fact I have
great.
about the set is that the whole thing was a set. So all the rooms worked and they all had
Yeah.
their things, except for the ballroom was just like at someone's house in like another like location and
Yeah,
doesn't kind of
the
make sense.
outside shots of a real mansion, and they tore it down in real life. Sucks.
Oh, real quick too, I wanted to mention, I forget what I was listening to where they mentioned that, where they talked about this, but since I want to be a woke podcast and I want to be a social justice warrior, I did want to talk about the idea of him, his big secret is supposedly he's being blackmailed for is that he's gay. It's the 50s. He's a gay government agent.
Yeah.
And then at the end he has the like, I'm going home to sleep with my wife, and people were like, that kind of undoes. You could have had a gay character, but I had heard somebody mention that possibly that's cover. That's because the other government agents have showed up now, and he can't let
I
them
just thought it was
know that he's gay, so he has to like make a big show of being like, and now I'm going home to sleep with my wife.
I just thought it was a funny line delivery that makes no
I think it
sense
can
to
be
the
both.
whole.
Well, that's the thing. I think it can be both. It can just the joke can be he was
Yeah,
never gay,
I have a note.
and then he's actually straight, or the joke could be that he's still in the closet and he has to, you know what I mean? He has to make a big show of pretending. I think you can enjoy it either way.
Gotcha,
I don't know
buddy.
if you can read that, but it says
Homophobia aside.
it holds up.
Yeah.
So
So you should use your
there's a
homophobia.
moment.
See, there you go.
to
You
rate
can
this.
now you have a way to read it that kind of takes a little of the homophobia out.
No, the only homophobia. I don't think the ending is homophobic. If you read it that way, it is. But the only moment that is homophobic is when he confesses. He sits down and Christopher Lloyd stands
Lloyd
up.
gets up. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the homophobic moment.
That's pretty light for the 80s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, that
8.2. Good shot. Out of 10, that's such a good line delivery. Oh, good shot, man.
there's always a gun going off too in every murder, but there was never a gunshot. It was great.
TJ, unfortunately, it's your episode next.
Fortunately.
I have to prepare my mind and body for
It's
I
such a
love it.
double-edged sword, dude.
I love it.
TJ
It's like a
episodes is
good
such a double-edged.
TJ's picks are like a good frozen pizza to eat on like a Wednesday
because
night
it's such a double-edged sword. Because
that
there's
you don't
moments
want
where,
to call real
like,
pizza.
no.
So you keep it
We
in the
get
fridge.
so much. Either we get so much content out of them, or it's just us going like, "What the fuck did we watch? Why?"
I'm glad you said that. When does this next episode get recorded?
2 weeks
First
from
week
now.
of March.
First week of March. All right.
Is
So
it 2 weeks from now or 2 weeks from when this episode is released? Because we're recording ahead. Oops,
March, literally, I think March 1st.
I'm going to pull a Joe on this one. My birthday is February 28th. I'm not a leap year baby. But the day before we record this. I, for some reason, thought this was like around the 100th episode. Obviously, we have 4 to 6 more to go.
We're closing in, though. Remember how we dressed up for our 5th episode?
This is 92nd.
But it was a
It'll
good
be
bit.
the 93rd episode.
That's a
It
funny
was a great bit.
I remember our coughing at the beginning of COVID, our first COVID episode 2 years ago. That was a funny bit as well.
We never wore a mask.
I mean, I think my last movie is Carnosaur. I'm going to kind of ride that wave as of right now. Boys, this is what I've kind of wanted to pick, haven't picked. I had to go back through our inventory to make sure I haven't picked it. But I'll tell you what, this could have been a great sequel if they would have followed through with it, baby. We're watching Mac and Me.
We did that already.
No, we didn't.
No, we did Gnome Named Norm.
Yeah.
I thought we did Mac and
Nope,
Me.
I thought
some-
so.
No, we did Howard the Duck. We did Gnome Named Norm. He has not hit us with Mac and Me.
Sure.
Nuki will be next.
Yes,
You
we're watching
sure?
Mac and Me. Everyone has to do it. We're going crazy. with
Joe,
it.
I can tell you I'm sure because I've never seen Mac and Me.
Yeah, but
Really?
can I just watch The Pest again?
No, we can't watch fucking Pesca. We're watching Mac and Me, dude.
Oh my god, you guys just mentioned all his movies, and my balls just crawled up my fucking body.
I didn't fucking
Where
say
can the people find you, Brian?
You can find me on Twitter at Hercules. Mostly complaining about how I have to see pictures of people's meals, complaining about what other people like that doesn't affect me, just always just mad all the time.
Let's talk about another mad boy, TJ. Where can the people find you?
You guys find me at TJDex on Twitter. You guys on the Flyover State of Film podcast. Eventually, I'll get on the Flyover State of Fear with Joe once I decide what I want to watch. That'll probably
You won't do it.
never
It's not gonna happen. It's never gonna happen.
Guys,
It's gonna happen because I love my boy TJ.
Yeah, and also, if I disagree with someone you love on YouTube and you start firing off at me, I'm never gonna answer you because that's the fun part. Love y'all. Mwah.
Joe.
Yeah, you could find me on this channel doing Flyover State of Fear a lot. We have some really great episodes coming out.
That's probably what you're watching instead of watching this.
We got some great guests, and you could follow that Twitter account, and you can follow my main Twitter account, where I help these boys also fight these battles on the Twitters, and basically just consumes my day. And let's get that Moonfall merch.
Fun fact: Chris Jericho's wife was at the January 6th Trump rally.
Oh yeah.
Bye. Wait, was she?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You said